And we're recording.
So, last we left off, our group had stepped into the massive unknown area that had simply been called the base. Otherwise, not given a name as of yet, the group somewhat split off. As of right now, we pick up right where we left off, but not with the right people. Aster, you
Yes.
are currently listening in to Arthur and Emerin talk, but they are starting to walk away, which will be explained later. But they are starting to walk away. You are starting to not register what they are talking about. Is there any place you go, or do you just follow them?
He thinks back on what Emran mentioned before, Aster remembering that Lex and Vince are here, and that he mentioned they were on a lower level.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it, he'll do the little dog call out Zippy, or not Zippy, Edie.
Itty? Is it Itty or Bitty?
Biddy is on the ship, Edie is with him.
Okay.
Because the reason I can tell is because Biddy is the combat one, Edie is the fast one.
Mm-hmm.
But and I know that we had the fast one with us
Mm-hmm.
because he did the sniff sniff in the direction and told us, "Hey, that's not good."
Right. So Itty does Itty does call to your side, this time with a lot less struggle, probably recovering from the full tilt sprint that had happened on Neverland.
Mm-hmm.
And just stares at you with the, "Yep, what can I do?"
You want to go say hi to Lex?
Does the younger dog play motion of getting down on both front paws and tilting backwards? Is it like play?
With Vince too?
There's a blink of should, and then you get the feeling of should there be a difference in how I react?
Normally more excited is appropriate, but let's go find him. And lets him lead the way.
Takes off in the direction of the doors over here. Like is leading you towards the area of the stairs essentially. I don't have a token for Itty right now because I know he looks like something out of Astral Chain.
No, he's an English Shepherd.
Okay.
Biddy is the one from Astral Chain.
Okay. We
Biddy
gotta write this
combat.
down at some point.
I feel like I did.
Okay. Well, it does lead you
I'll
over
find it.
towards. Yeah, don't worry. Just keep moving. It's over here, and leads you towards this area, downstairs. Do you stop at all to take in sights?
He'll kind of. Oh God, Jesus, this map's zipping me around somewhat whenever I adjust it. But he'll kind of stop here up these stairs, right here.
You do kind of hear rustling of trees almost upstairs.
I'll go up there later.
You do also kind of with your intuition with the trees and the sunlight and that it's lighter up here and kind of dark below. You assume that the top is the atrium, the arboretum. So basically where they keep all their produce.
All right. That would probably where he should have gone to go get food, but did not.
Mhm. But do you stop on any floors below? Or do you just follow Itty?
He'll stop on the first floor, kind of give it a look around.
So, I'm going to put you on this map. You're on the right side. That's right.
I'm on
The right
the
stairs.
I'm on the right staircase, but in front of the left stairs.
Alrighty. This place doesn't have a full like wraparound because it's not meant to be as big as I'm making it. But we can improvise. You are at the bottom left.
Yep.
You you kind of
Yeah,
hear the sound.
hold on. It's full pixelate. Okay, never mind. I was full pixelated. I could not see anything.
Okay, is it better now?
Yep.
You do as you're walking down the stairs trying to follow Itty, it kind of pitches to the to the left, almost down to get you into that area of the location, which is how I'm justifying this. But as you approach, there are people here. It is not just an empty staircase because you start to hear sounds of combat and chatter that stops when you get there.
I imagine a new guy walking down the steps with a heartless English shepherd. If you know what those dogs look like, they're very, very good boys.
Yes. However, I can't recall because I did ask Cherry earlier if it was Tsubasa who had saved the life of a black-haired girl on the ship, and I think that was you guys.
Yeah, that was Arthur and Aster.
That
Hmm.
was yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was Arthur, Aster, I think it was Lance and Raz.
Hmm. But as you come down, Itty stops for a moment and turns to big old eyes stare at a familiar to you face, though she does not have any more blood on her, and is in a new outfit, though similarly gothic Victorian. And she's looking at you in question. She hasn't said anything yet.
Oh hey, good to know you better.
Yeah, thanks for saving me.
No
He's
problem.
like, oh, I should warn you, the arena is already taken up by some participants in an upcoming fight. So,
I might check it out later.
first, do you remember who I am? And
Not
do
even
you
a little
remember her
bit.
name?
I don't. To be fair, a lot of things happened back to back after meeting you. Sort of co-signed my soul to an evil shark, and then the goddess of the world we landed on went, "Give that back." Took it, and now I've just been running basically for her. Had a big fight with my friend, and a lot of revelations. Got a horse out of it. So, for
Right. She
so
doesn't
you can
seem to believe you in the slightest.
summon Sleipnir.
Something blocks it.
His head openly turns. That's not good. If this is related to the goddamn Keyblade thing again, I don't want to piss any more people off with the ninth level bullshit. Out loud.
Oh, if you're referring to any steeds, because I think I recognize that name from somewhere, uh, she steps closer to you and hesitantly in front of the white-haired, pink-eyed individual who's basically an inverse of her, but the eyes are the same.
Mhm.
And just, if you're talking about steeds or mounts or battle companions that aren't physical but have to be summoned, you have to run that by the, what did he call himself? Emrys?
Imran. He
Yeah.
prefers Imran. It's like
Oh,
it's kind of like saying someone's dead name versus their preferred name. If you don't know them, that mistake can kind of feel rude. Like I'm not Caesar, I'm Aster, that sort of thing. By the way, I'm Aster now. Nice to meet you. Proper handout.
she steps forward and takes her hand. Desiree. Des is fine by me.
All right. Good to meet you, Des.
Um, you seem like you're in a rush, though. Or, I'm not in a rush, but like you're looking for something?
Not something, someone's mimic like puts his hand up to about the two heights that he knows Vincent and Lex are compared to him, so equal height, a little bit shorter.
Hmm.
Looking for purple and red.
Oh, they headed out of the base. Well, not out of the base, but different area.
Cool.
It's down below. You'll be able to find it through the city.
Gotcha. Head kind of
And
tilts past and stares at the photocopy, or not photocopy, the inverted color scheme
mhm.
person. Twins or something else?
You could call us twins. It's a lot easier to explain. The white-haired person uh, smiles a little bit
Try
and
me.
Des just reaches out and kind of hits her arm.
Try me. It's cannot be any weirder than me and my brother.
They look at each other. Um, and she looks at you again. We're, both of us, are clones of a very powerful Heartless and Nobody.
Cool.
They
Which
shrug.
one?
We don't feel like disclosing that. Right
Fair
now,
enough.
we don't know you that well.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of figure out why you were targeted by those assholes.
They both tilt their head in like the opposite directions, but the same can't, if that makes sense. Like if they were put into a horror movie, they would not be the ones I guess surviving. They would be the ones chasing. Is
Aster,
not
no
comfortable.
reaction to this creepiness because remember, one of his best friends is Lex and Arthur, and that's the human ones. The other one is Zipper, who takes his faith sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He's just numb to horror movie aspects at this point, unless he's stricken with fear. Well, good talking to you.
Yeah, it really was. And Des kind of speaks up. Yeah, it's nice to know you're still alive. That was rough.
Oh, it only gets a little bit worse. But don't worry, I don't let grudges go. Uh, hmm. Anyways,
Good to know I don't
at
have
least
one with you.
hmm?
Good. And something seems to register in her eyes, and she goes, "You said purple, right?
Purple. Yep,
About
this
yay
side.
high?
Yep, the little
Yeah.
bit shorter than me.
Male or female? Visibly, at least.
Visibly male, but I think preferred non-binary. If they ever go down that acceptance.
Well, I think the gender swapped, and she quotes in the air. gender swapped version of the one you're looking for is behind us. And she points towards the arena.
Well, now I gotta check that out. God damn it.
Yeah, she said that she used to be working for some queen.
White Queen?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Didn't know where he is. God damn it. Okay. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna go check that out real quick before I head downstairs to my buddies.
Of course. And they turn to each other and start to talk in a language you don't seem to understand.
Oh, hold on. I have to do this as every pet owner does. You want to pet that good boy? And points immediately to the, as seen in GIF, English Shepherd just staring.
Des kind of shakes her head, takes a half step back. She seems not afraid, but like, no, I'm good. And the one who hadn't introduced herself, I don't think she said her name, did you?
He did not.
She just shakes her head, doesn't move, but doesn't, go forward or backward.
All right. Stares down the hall. Looks at Itty. You remember what Vincent smells like, right?
Oh,
Go find Vince and Lex. Keep me updated, boy. Gives him like that. Gives him like that dog trainer thing where it's just like, pat and you can go. You are allowed to bolt now.
he kind of does an odd thing you haven't seen him do ever. He goes to bolt up back the staircase, and then he stops, confused.
Staring at this. Last thing, Des. Do the rooms change going up and down?
No. Emran doesn't really like the idea of a labyrinth for a home. Something about a tower?
That makes sense. Itty,
Why?
find Vince. We just came from upstairs. We were told that Vince was downstairs, and Itty followed him to here, and now he's going back upstairs. So I'm just a little worried. I have paranoia.
I mean-
I need it. I take meds for it.
And the white-haired one speaks up and goes, "Well, we never said anyone named Vince was in the arena.
I know.
If you're talking about the one wielding the katana, she's inside."
That doesn't narrow it down, but thank you.
And Des goes, No. He said it was like kind of masked non-binary. Paris, come on. What? They both look the exact same, except one has tits. What do you want me to do about it? And they go back to whispering.
To be fair, tits is not a defining factor. Me and Hydra can replicate those, but we're still male.
They don't pay attention to you anymore. They're like bickering amongst themselves, almost like sisters.
Yeah. He said his piece. He's given Itty the tap. You can go, bud.
You gave him the command of trying to find Vince, and he still hasn't moved.
Find Lex.
Big old wag and then nod, and then takes off up the stair. Well, up the staircase and then down again, because this is the floor.
Just letting him, like, seeing what happens with him at this point.
Mm-hmm. You get the feeling of someone rushing through streets. Your Itty is rushing through massive open streets.
He'll be fine. He looks like a dog. And Aster will kind of keep that connection port open as he moves towards the doors that he sees right over here.
Mm-hmm. And as
Because
you
they
get
didn't know.
closer,
Yep.
you see two familiar sights. The captains of the previous ship you were on.
Mm. I don't think Aster ever met them.
You did see them before you got onto the ship. They did introduce themselves because it was not supposed to be like a battle-fronted manned thing. It was a cargo/passenger ship. So you did hear their names. It was Beryl and Regali. Beryl is the red one, and Regali is the blue one.
All right. Just passes them. Captain Barrow, Captain Regali. Good to see you live.
They just balk for a second because they kind of recognize you, but they are having a bit of a conversation that you can tell, even without hearing the context of, relates to what they're going to do for dinner tonight. So whatever hesitation they held around you, it immediately fades as you show that you're just passing through.
Yep. Kind of just stop at the door and go, pardon me, actually. Do either of you know the names of the people in the arena right now?
Beryl turns to face you and goes, the one in the arena or the ones watching the arena?
In the arena.
Casey and her hound. Why?
Casey and her hound.
Or I suppose it'd be easier to say panther, but they call her a hound.
Well, I call it a heart. I have two dog-shaped heart lizards. I call them hounds. It's not technically what they are. It's all about how you treat them. And it just walks on through.
Do you head
And
to the left or right?
he's gonna go left. Kind of just peek in this door.
A bunch of weapons, like normal weapons, normal armor, normal shields. There's some ballista weaponry. There's some wheels of just training armaments, but there's no one in here. And in this area right here is looking down. It's not open doors.
Just muttering to himself. If anyone knows the Justice League Unlimited, like the Question singing to himself before he just like throws a plant through a door.
Mm-hmm.
Just calmly. I don't know what to do. Just wandering through. Inspecting things cause I'm bored. Make sure Vince doesn't hide anything from us anymore. Goes to look, and you said this is like just a way down.
It's like a window/grating looking down.
Just kind of peek at it.
You do from this angle see a massive nightmare.
Hmm.
That is currently, you can tell from the posture as a Dream Eater farm hand, that the posture is in training mode, not battle or play mode. So, not intending to harm whoever's in front, but just training.
And there's the door right here in front of him.
Those are like the doors leading down into the arena, yes.
He's gonna kind of like peek around, see the fuck do I get in from here, and then just still kind of like start walking up to the door. Knock, knock, knock. Is it thick wood?
It is thick steel.
Hmm.
Like, this area that you're in basically is where people train first, as you're realizing, and then go out into battle other people, just to get like the work week out of frustration.
Yeah, I got you.
Mm.
Aster is just gonna move over to the edge, but not enter the arena because that'd be rude.
Oh no, this area is a thick grate, like almost like grating, almost like this is a window. This is the doors.
Okay, so this is a window.
Hmm.
These are the doors into it.
Yes, into the bottom area down here. If you're looking to just spectate, you'd have to go around.
He's got that dumbass urge. He really wants to do some. He really wants to just like peek in there without having to walk further away from a place he'd probably have to like make the long trip round if he finds them fast enough.
Mm.
Just gonna gently kind of pull the doors back, peek ahead inside.
You hear the rush of magic and like the pulse of someone else's basically mana, as there
Hmm.
is a training session, a very intense training session happening that you can't see who the other source of the magic is from. You do see a bunch of obstacles that are mana based.
Just watching it. Gonna pull the door open a little bit more, see if he can look around the edge, see if he sees them. Just try to get a
You
full like cone view.
you'd have to step a little bit to the left to get any view of whoever's there, which would mean opening the door more.
Opening the door more, just making sure who this is.
He is a person you do
Oh,
not recognize.
I don't know them. Hopefully they didn't see me.
You do recognize their state of dress and the type of weapon they are wielding. They seem to be a ranger class. Like,
Just
it
gonna
is straight
keep
up
look.
like bow, arrow, has a nightmare for a for a familiar. Definitely a ranger.
Just gonna kind of stare for a bit, and then just insight. Do they have treats on their person?
You don't need insight because you kind of see behind you as you're looking for treats a bag of specifically expensive treats, like near the window, like you can see them. They're
So
not
about like
on
right here.
they're not on their
Yeah,
person. Yeah, they're not on their person as far as you can see, because you know better than anybody else training while you have treats on you leads to being tackled.
true, true. He's going to investigate the treats.
They are tied very tight to keep both small dream eaters and big ones out of them.
Now, normally feed bags do are like sometimes they're bound in just like leather wrapping or a nap like not knapsacks. What is it called?
Twine.
Yeah, a twine sack. But sometimes
Mhm.
they're labeled correctly. Is this a labeled one or is this a because you mentioned that it was a high end expensive one, so I
Mhm.
imagine it's still got like the label and stuff on it.
Mhm.
Can I
Why? Why you're
investigate?
asking? You're
Just
spending a lot of
checking out.
time on this area you're not even supposed to be in.
Oh, I know. It's fully just like curiosity will be the death of Aster. He's like, is this the right thing for a nightmare that size? I know a lot of people
You
like just
you
immediately
do
like fumbling to himself like some people feed them the wrong fucking things because it's the more expensive one.
you notice that despite the expensive bag, as you look on the label, it's actually like the proper feed for a nightmare Kiba tiger.
Hmm. Cool. Oh, look at that.
It is
Nice.
literally just put into an expensive bag because as you look around, it's one of the only real like kept together bags that wouldn't immediately fall apart from that amount of feed.
Reaches into his pockets, places 3 little like dog treats that are just meat and fish based dream eater treats.
Mhm.
Pet pet on top of them.
Mhm.
And then one last peek over at the Kiba tiger. I
It
really
is
want to pet
now.
that.
Oh, do you want to pet that dog?
I want to pet that dog. Just the absolutely like I haven't been caught yet. One last peek won't hurt.
Both of them are staring at you now.
Well, fuck. Here we go again. Closes the door and tries to back up. Calmly just get away from that door.
Nothing seems to happen, but there is a lessened intensity of training beyond the doors.
Just gonna walk over here and once he feels like, no one's watching him, check in on Itty. Have you found them yet?
You get the feeling of rushing past trees, like the type of trees that give evergreen shade, and you hear through. Do you try and see or hear through Itty, other than the
Yes,
feeling?
I'm gonna have to ritual cast that because that's something I can just do ability wise with Zippy because he's my
Mhm.
direct familiar, so I'll have to ritual cast that.
Well, this is more of a like downtime area. I'm allowing certain things.
Okay, then yes.
Because there's not really a combat need for a different type of familiar. You can just, if you have the quote unquote rank in familiarity and friendship with a certain entity, you can. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Fair and valid.
So, yeah, you kind of reach through and like go, where are you? What's happening? And you see a long while ahead, like he's rushing towards it. The mast of a ship, a couple of them actually, one closer to shore than the others, and you swear you see a little bit of a familiar cape in the distance.
Familiar, can I history check on what the familiar cape is from? Because I know like 3 people, Aster knows like 3 people that have just capes a part of their, like, however they
It
dress.
look it looks like a sunset red to orange to blue cape.
God damn it. He's gonna take a sigh and he's just gonna go, Itty, how far off are you from where we are?
You get back the clear answer of 2 floors down across the city outside.
He's gonna start stretching a little bit and before he knows what he's gonna have to do. Oh, god
Mhm.
damn it. So he takes some stretches and he fucking bolts. Openly, these poor 4 people just see Aster full tilt sprinting, chasing where his dog was going.
All right. So do you stop anywhere this time?
No, He has to catch up with his dog before his dog gets on a ship. It's the he got out of the gate. Fuck, get him. Energy right now, so nothing is gonna catch Aster's eye this time unless they directly stop him. It's just the full tilt. Back here! What do you have in your mouth? Get back here! Oh, I was. Oh, I was.
So you sprint down past what sounds like a bathing area, like an area where anybody can go to just chill and be in the sauna and stuff like that, and you race past that. You race past and down into a basement area that seems more connected to ground floor than a real basement. And it is massive, and there's chatter, and there's lights and houses and towns and shops and everything, and it is busy. They barely even stop you, though a few people go, "Whoa, you're in a rush," and just kind of get out of your way.
The
So a
people that
lot of,
say you're in a rush just get my dog ran off.
and then just the laughter that carries behind you as they probably saw said dog. And you rush outside into glaring sunny light. And
It
you
doesn't stop him. It's just the fuck.
and you take off after Itty, who, in your feeling, seems to have stopped at a kind of base area, noticing you are nearby. And you kind of start to smell the scent of the sea spray and sea salt, and rock and earth, and leaves and trees, and it's all very real for something that you're not sure is.
It's magic. I stopped asking questions.
You're at the top.
I feel like it would he be here or would he be like at the top with me?
At the top with you, like stopped as he realized that you were coming to chase him and went, "Oh, I have reached my destination. I sit." Very well trained dog.
This motherfucker, good boy. Pet gives him some magic and then just it's gonna move, looking at this place, get about right here, and just stare.
Vince is visibly leaning up against the cliffside and is just arms crossed, one foot propped up against the rocks, looking down at the sand when you first see him, and then he looks up at you with an odd sort of life in his eyes that wasn't there before, but he's still extremely tired. Good to see you're not dead.
Aster, who is full sweating after bolting that fast, that quickly. Motherfuckers. Why is this downstairs?
Vince moves one hand to point up to where you were, and it is up. This is built into a mountain.
Where is he?
You mean Lex?
Yeah.
He's over by the shore. I wouldn't bother him if I were you.
Walks up to him, hands on his shoulders. Ah, you're not me, though. How you holding up? You good? We
I
saw
just
what you
witnessed.
guys... Yeah.
That's terrifying. I realize I called him a bunch of names, but Jesus.
And you need to apologize, and you've already apologized about that?
Yeah, I have. He's still bad mood for a different reason.
I think I might know it. Also, there is apparently a gender swap version of you in the arena.
Yeah, I'm trying to ignore that one because I think I know who it is.
Mom or sister?
Sister.
Cool. I almost talked to her then. I got caught staring at a fluffy panther. I'll tell you about it later.
Mm-hmm. He goes back to crossing, having his arms crossed and leaning up against the cliff face. He doesn't seem keen on leaving.
Just quietly brings out Itty to keep him company. Starts making his way towards Lex.
He is sitting up on top of a kind of outcropping with one leg dangling over it and the other propped up to keep his chin up and on his arms. He's just staring out into the ocean.
Just moves to stand kind of behind but next to him.
He doesn't say anything.
You know, and he kind of like just starts talking. When I was really young, I thought if I tried hard enough, I could fly. Other half of me knew that was not possible, but he couldn't tell me otherwise. So Caesar jumped off a barn, broke his arm.
There's a snort.
Oh yeah, and sadly I remember the pain, but I just got the arm.
Hmm. Is there a point to what you're telling me?
Not every story is a lesson. Sometimes they're just to start talking.
He goes quiet again.
I met him.
Which one?
I didn't meet the one at the tower. That was when you guys were running with TB. I met
Yeah.
him here today, talked to him. I thought I was gonna have to stop Arthur from knocking his teeth out. But, Arthur, always the sassy man, said that he's not me, which, fair point, but you don't gotta say it out loud.
I'm glad he's so defensive, but I'm not mad.
I didn't think you were. I've seen you a little upset, so I can imagine what your mad looks like, and this doesn't look like mad.
I think it's just a little bit of tired.
More than a little bit.
Aster, he basically told me to my face that he willingly gave me away.
Well, at least he told you.
I spent my entire life wondering if my family cared about me. If they truly wanted me back. And I just now learned that they don't.
Well, that's where you're wrong. Because I think I might be the only one here that can say this. I know exactly how you feel. My dad put me back together, Lex. He never told me. He knew, watched all the anxiety and whatnot affect me, the paranoia I suffer from today. He let all of that happen. Could have told me, like, hey, explained everything, but he didn't. And when I screaming, asking him why, making a fit, you know what he said to me?
What'd he say?
Sits down on the ledge next to him. Why would I tell you who you are? You gotta find that out yourself. But it never changes the fact that I loved you. I'm his son. I am Ritsuki's son. I'm Hydra's brother. He didn't have to tell me that. I had to realize it. They may have not told you. May have just kept it to themselves, but they may have had their reasons. If they didn't, well, I would have slugged them. But I did. I did want to ask him if he had a good reason, but he talked about you, talked about everything. He was more upset about what had happened to you than anything else.
He could have stopped it. Any point, could have came back.
No, he couldn't have. Because if he did, you would be put in danger again.
Like I'm not already. Like I'm not already.
Arm around him.
Story for a story?
Story for a story.
On my vacation with Miss Vivian, my mom, Mr. Simon, my dad, and Uncle Gray. They introduced me to somebody. Uncle Gray's son. Then he kind of smiles. Also,
There's
a
a
little bit of an
genuine
echo.
fear in his heart. That man
It's a little bit of an
reproduced.
echo. A little bit of an echo.
Oh, damn it. My joke. No. No, I was just
Say
saying.
it again.
I said that man reproduced.
And apparently he fucks. Just a comment.
No. We knew he fucked. He's a cowboy and he's hot. We knew that. Reproduction?
He does laugh a little bit. But his son's name is Orion. You know what the first
Lord?
thing that Orion. Yeah. You know what Orion said to me first thing he saw me?
Sure.
And his expression shifts from an indecisive, like, harshness, anger, and distrust to gentle recollection. He said, "You're late. Come on inside. We've got enchiladas."
Enchiladas are good.
It's as if he knew I was going to be there, and that I was just a little bit later than he wanted me to be. They're not the people I grew up around,
They don't have to be.
but they are my family.
There you go.
I just want to know where the original ones went. If they cared about me just as little as Emran does. Because I haven't told Arthur this, but I remember them. When I
Parents?
overclocked that last time, yeah. When I overclocked, I got close enough to death that I tricked the system. My memories came back in a blur, and then in a flash. I remembered the sound of my mother's voice, and the way that my dad would always train me, because if he didn't, I would always get into them somehow. I wonder what would make such kind people give me up. Was I really too much?
Lex, I'm gonna say this and I want you to take this the nicest way possible. You are
Yeah.
too much because you are the scariest fucking person I know, but I have never want anyone else by my side if we're going to fight some time looping bastards.
There's a snort. Well, that's one way to put it.
We went bar for bar, quake for quake in an arena, and the only reason I won is because I had to use darkness, you scary fuck.
Apparently, I did the same thing with Vincent. Scared the shit
Oh yeah,
out of him.
no, he's... we heard a little bit of that.
Did you? And
He
he's grinning at
called
you
one of
now.
us. Yeah, he called one of us. We heard him.
Sorry about that.
Don't apologize. Nudges him. I think Arthur blushed from it. It was fucking fine, dude. Be scary.
You blushed?
Trust me, you're the only one that could. And Aster stands up. Story for story. You want to know what my mother, a respected and decorated seeker of darkness for the Magic Kingdom's password is?
Yeah.
Command board.
Well, no one would ever guess it, because fuck that game.
It's command board because she can never win at it.
Well, yeah, it
But-
sucks. It's a bad game. And he's already laughing.
It's a horrible game. But it's also, if my dad is to be believed, how their first date went.
That's cute.
My dad, who'd been playing with Juliet Harold and Cayde, whatever the fuck his last name is in this world, because I've forgotten it. I apologize.
Don't worry about it. Continue.
With Gambler Cayde and Juliet Harold, my dad went super serious on her, which prompted my mother, Ritsuki, to go, "You bitch," and actually try and get him.
There's like a you know when somebody's trying very hard not to bust out into laughter and they're like breathing really weird?
And then he just changes into a little. He shifts his form into like his mom's face, like how his mom looked in like the pictures he had from his dad would have shown him, and just goes, "This small woman tackled a herald to the ground, screaming, 'You bitch!'"
Like turns away and like covers his mouth with the back of his hand and starts laughing.
Ugh. She was. I wish I could remember everything about her. I wish I could. So many memories I think we have, but I don't remember them. I only have memories of growing up with my dad alone, which, by the way, horrifying man. I think he could take you in a fight.
We'll have to see.
I've seen him bare knuckle wrestle a gargoyle nightmare before. I think he should be fine.
Lex doesn't move from where he's sitting. He's just staring again.
But the point of the story is, I don't have any memories of my mom. I have only the memories people tell me. One memory I have of her was altered. It was tainted. And when I remembered it, I found this. And he offers his phone to Lex.
He turns a little bit to face you. And it's the first time you're realizing that you have never actually seen Lex cry. He's been crying for a while.
Aster doesn't change. He still holds out his phone. You should watch it. I think you're gonna get a kick out of it.
He does take the phone.
It is the video that was archived in his mom's files with her, his dad, and the current king and queen when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And he just lets Lex play it. I saw that and I was absolutely furious with the king. Because I thought he'd been keeping things about my mom from me. And then I found out he didn't remember her, or he didn't remember she was alive, or know it. And it made me spiral. It hurt a lot. Just to know my mom was somewhere no one could get to. Somewhere I can't save her from, because I'm still too weak. But then I see videos like
Loops
that.
it again.
Yeah. And I see videos like that where she's happy, my dad's happy, she made people happy, and I know what to do. Hand on Lex's back. Try to be more like her every day.
He doesn't say anything. He just loops the video again and again.
Aster will move back to sitting next to him on the cliff. And very quietly, he'll just drop his form to the one with the haircut, the streak of silver, and just a more comfortable form, an honest version of himself. Just sitting there.
I think you guys sit in silence for a while. The only sound being the waves and the technology that's playing an old memory none of you have. I think that's where we cut away from Aster.
All right.
Who wants to go next? And if Lance goes, you can't yell at me.
I think Lance really wants to yell, though.
You may, but then you have to actually take me up on the offer of going next.
Do it.
When I find you, when
You know where we are.
I am going to get you. I am going to F-rate in your room. You are not safe.
Yeah,
Neither
neither
are
is
you.
Ren.
You are not safe.
Yeah, I know.
No one's safe in this group.
Smiles.
We're all coming for each other's bones.
Don't you just smiles at me.
But smiles.
D-
Very kind and generous. Very demure.
Nice. Smiles.
Lance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is Lance doing right now, as everyone is starting to split up and go to different places? Persephone has not let you go, but is starting to wonder if you're actually alright because this is a longer than usual hug.
We should probably grab something to eat. At least a snack.
At least a snack.
At least a snack. I know I am one, but
You just say that with a lot less confidence than before. How about we go take a bath and talk over the sauna?
Lead the way.
And she leads you down a couple of floors. And do you ask her any questions as she's doing this? Because it goes from very, very bright outside to very dark, or at least very shaded.
So how long did it take you guys to set all this and gestures outward? How words, fuck, shit, damn it, I can speak, I promise.
Can you?
No. I need to calm down. It's fine.
You're an adult.
I am an adult.
Ren is too and wants to beat the shit out of me.
But that's deserved.
Is it?
Listen, it's fine. I can talk. I can speak. I'm an adult. This is fine. I'm calm.
I'm an adult. I need to calm down. That's not fair! But she does, like, answer your question of surprisingly not very long. You really ought to thank Emerin on that front. His magical prowess is scary. Like even I would have to take at least a week to set up a ritual that easy for him. And for him it was only an hour. We had to fill everything in, make stuff, find the people that wanted to be here, but other than that, it's all on him. And it's all permanent too. Don't ask where we are, I couldn't tell you.
Somewhere in the cosmos.
The less we know about it, probably the better. We all have access keys, but that's that. And she goes to step forward. She waves a little bit to the person sitting at the front door. Goes, "Hi, Sonny. I have an old friend with me." And the dark-haired, dark-skinned woman just looks up from the book she's reading and nods, seeming to take into account that you're there. And then goes back to reading. So, any more questions? I'm sure you have a lot.
Are you sure you're alright?
Oh, hell no. Everything sucks right now. But I'll be better. I just need to recover. And Emerin has been helping in that department. Stingy as he may be. And she steps over to the doors and throws one of them open. Steps inside.
There's just like a not a hip check, but like similar to one with the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Um just, if there's anything I can do, let me know.
Well, first off, we're going into a sauna. I don't think you want to go in fully clothed.
Well,
And she
I
walks over, closes the door, shuts it, locks it. Changeling the
mean,
changeling?
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. Just changeling to changeling, we have this place to ourselves right now. And you see her, like, easily, like, she's done this countless times, perfected it down to an art, even with her injuries. She strips off most of her outfit and walks over to a chest, folds them, puts them away, takes out more, almost like a swimsuit, as if in case something does happen, she's not completely in the nude and doesn't have to waste time getting dressed.
Mm.
And puts it on, not in a rush, but as she's walking. But you need anything, just head over to the chest. It should automatically bring up something you can wear.
He does kind of just start stripping down, folding it, puts in the chest. You know those like
Uh,
the like women's one piece like swimsuits?
mm-hmm.
Like specifically a just like a red one.
Okay.
Puts that on. Hate thunderstorms.
You see
Anyway,
Persephone that is already sitting in the sauna. Like, it's foggy in here, and she seems to be relaxed in the edge of the water, sitting there easily.
I'm assuming this is like a step.
Yes.
Okay. Just kind of takes a seat on the steps itself.
She turns to face you, grinning. So I hear you're dating somebody.
Is it really that surprising?
But the way you used to be so bravado and confident, a little bit. Glad to see someone knock you down a peg, and do not make a joke.
Damn it. Not even a big joke.
Especially not a big joke. So how you've been holding up?
Lance does kind of just rub at the arm that's got the dark mark. Just I've been holding up pretty well, pretty decently.
Now, is that the truth, or is it just for my betterment of health?
I've been holding up better than expected.
Well, that's good. I don't want to see you the way that you were during our first years. That was rough. I'm glad you've got some of that early confidence back.
Nothing can really keep me down forever, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people say that, and then something strikes them and then they're down.
Not me. I'll just bounce back up. It's fine.
You'll just win? And
I'll
she smiles.
I'm just built different.
Uh-huh. So tell me about this significant other of yours. What's her name? What do they look like? Do they went to our school?
Remember how I got kind of speared through the shoulder during second
Mm-hmm.
year?
Oh, please do not tell me.
Okay, I won't. Okay.
No, now you have to. That's a circumstance of phrase. No, absolutely not. You gotta spill. Hot gossip and all that. We're in the sauna hotter than anybody else can get. He doesn't hurt you, does he?
No, no, of course not. No.
Good. Otherwise,
Well,
I'd have to break his arm. Or
not
worse.
unless I ask.
Oh, jeez. Too much information there, kiddo.
Well, you did ask. I had to clarify.
And you didn't have to go that far. And she shuffles to kind of be next to you, smacks your arm.
Oh, that's hardly any information at all.
And I don't want to know any more about your personal life. But you're really dating that man? That one?
I am.
Rumor has it, if you want to hear it.
You know I'm all about that tea.
Rumor has it that he and his twin sister are runaway nobles. Ran directly to the Keyblade Academy. And they housed them their entire tenure and gave them their reason for thesis. One became a knight, or was aiming for it, and the other became a mage.
That's it.
Well, I'm not the one who keeps up on tabs on you guys. That's Valkyr. He just tells me what he thinks is relevant for me to know. And that's not much, honestly.
I was expecting the tea to be at least lukewarm. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're alright. You probably have had enough tea to last you a good couple of years now. From what I've heard.
Where do I even start?
Start where you're comfortable. I'm not going nowhere.
You better not.
She pats you on the shoulder and just leans back on her arms, head back, and just closes her eyes, listening to you. How much do you tell her?
It all started when I was born.
For the first time, she doesn't interrupt you.
Yeah, no witty comment. No, nothing.
Not knowing what you've all been through, it might have genuinely started when you were born.
God, I hope not.
Go on. How much do you tell her?
About the time loops, or about
Anything.
just
Do you tell her what you think she'll believe? Or do you tell your best friend everything she hasn't known?
everything. As crazy as it might sound, knowing that it sounds crazy, still gonna say everything. Tell the
I
whole
think
story.
that'll I think that'll take you well into the morning, or whatever constitutes as morning here. That you don't stay the entire time in the sauna. At some point, you go into one of the baths, and then at some point that you just sit at one of the tables and dry off. And You just talk. You talk and you catch up, and nothing happens. Whatever bad things may have crept up in the back of your mind, thinking that this isn't real, that she's not here, that they're all not safe right now, nothing happens. And it's calm.
I feel like there's
It,
still like lingering like tension in his shoulders, like in his everything that slowly like super slowly relaxes over the course of the entire conversation.
and you just talk. At some point, it doesn't become anything serious, though that does take a good few hours. It just becomes, how have the days been up here? And are the people okay? Is there anything I can do? And it's just normal conversation between people who haven't seen each other in years. And if you're okay with it, I think this is a good place to wrap up your scene.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? I suggest Helia. 'Cause I was talking about Valkyr.
I mean, if everyone's fine with it, yeah, sure.
I'm good with it.
So, Helia.
Yeah.
As everyone starts to wander off, Arthur and Aster going in the same direction, and then you see in the distance Arthur and Emerin walking off together and Aster not with them. You see Lance and Persephone head off to where they had commented they'd be taking a bath. After having made the comment briefly of maybe we should get something to eat, and it's just, no, you're too stressed for that, you'll throw up kind of mentality from an older friend.
Mm.
And just, Tsubasa is still lingering with you. I don't think he's quite paying attention in this moment. But Valkyr is sitting against the lower part of the banister, not really looking at you, but out of the corner of his periphery, he thinks you're not paying attention to him, and he glances every so often.
After a moment, there's just audible sigh, and then, can I help you with something, Valkia?
I'd like you to stop being mad at me, but I know that's not going to happen. Not right now.
I mean, you sitting there doing nothing is definitely not going to get me to not be mad at you. You are correct.
He does look up at you as you approach, or rather, view him from a front perspective instead of at the side. And those scars are still there. He, as the person he has become, at least for now, he seems content with the scars. As you've studied in your unwilling affliction studies, you know that when they get afflicted, they can remove what killed them, at least visibly. He seems to want the reminder. He just smiles, glad to see you're actually willing to get closer to him. I'm sure you have questions. I probably have more answers than anybody else here. There's also a couple of people who I think you might want to meet, but that can wait, I guess.
People other than your parents, or...
Just some nobles that want to speak with you guys. Any of you guys.
Oh boy, nobles.
Actually, they're pretty nice. And that's coming from me. A little on the weird side, but who isn't these days?
I mean, anyone can pretend to be nice, Valkyr.
Then how about I put it like this? And he stands up, stretches a little bit. You hear the like back pop of like, ooh, he probably sat like that for a while. And just walks over to you. And takes a seat again. He's definitely shrimping. He's worse than you when you're focused, and you know it.
Cursed. So cursed.
So he's sitting next to you, and he goes, so I'll put it to you like this. They're kind. A little on the weird side, but they're kind. They mean well, and they have no intention to harm. I think a couple of your old teachers are here, too.
That does not inspire confidence in me, Valkyr.
Flamboyant, has a lot of the gossip, likes to talk, likes to know things. Does that ring a bell?
None of my conversations with Xenos ever went well, but yeah.
Yeah, they're here. They said they wanted to help out.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but she definitely rolls her eyes.
There's a nudge at your feet of, come on. At least give them a chance. Any of them.
I want to, Valkyr, but last
They
3
haven't given
years
you a
at the
reason
Academy
to.
didn't exactly inspire confidence in me and them.
Then don't go after your teachers. The nobles here have been replaced with doppelgangers. Or worse,
Okay?
outright killed on the surface. Just, can you put a little bit of faith in me and not them? Trust me when I say that they don't mean any ill will and they're just weird.
Are you going to start actually talking to me again?
Yes, now that I can.
Why couldn't you
And
before?
because I was avoiding getting into a trap. I was avoiding getting into what the White Queen had said was her ultimate enemy, aside from her rivalry with the Black Cat. And then I figured out too late, but also too soon, that she meant the ones you're up against. And I was too late to help. So I decided to make someplace safe for all of you, including you.
But decided not to tell us about it.
We tried. We sent out the distress, but that was when we were in distress. We didn't mean to. It just kind of happened. Like, same day and everything. Like, he makes this big gesture with his hands, like, same day and everything. We decided to just contact you guys as we finally got your signal, and then we got attacked, and then those weird two guys showed up from your angle and point of view, and I'm just, man, everything went downhill. I wanted to invite you alone at first, and then that was next. Ugh. You know, things don't go always according to plan.
Well, clearly not, because you've had, and she'll jingle the necklace at him, a sending stone for years and never used it.
Oh, those can be bugged with magic, yeah.
Did Perk not tell you I specifically went out of my way to make sure that couldn't happen, or?
Oh, that's what she meant by that. And you're realizing now that Valkyr was told about that? He just didn't actually understand what she said. And never asked. He's just like, I'm
It's a
supposed to understand what
moron.
this means. It's just the head empty. No thoughts. No brain cell. I don't know what's going on. Like,
Audible groan from Helia.
sorry. I know. I should have asked.
Why wouldn't they let you invite just me? You think that would be safer?
It was less that they didn't want to invite just you, and more that I was freaking out over how to get you here safely. Because there was something roaming on the outskirts of the base that was trying to find us, and then it found me in Perth, then was taken down very swiftly by your friend, which, holy shit, like, looks at you of like, who the fuck are you friends with kind of look.
Yeah, that's Lex. He's long pause like that.
Like what? Fucking weird?
Yeah, but don't be mean.
I'm not being mean. That was haunting. If I wasn't attracted specifically to not that, I think I would be. I guess the
Alright,
term
so.
here is that if I was more gay than straight, I think I would be attracted to that.
Yeah, well, he's got Arthur, so shrugs.
Oh fuck, they're finally dating? Oh, thank God. We've had bets 4 years. Fuck, I won, finally. One bet. That's all I need. I'm out. Finally. And he
You've
laughed.
had bets?
Mm-hmm. I'm the informant, main informant. So I have most of the information. I'm usually not allowed to make bets. But apparently I'm very bad with social cues, so they let me have this one.
So you're their spy.
Mm-hmm. I fear I've said something immediately wrong again.
I mean, kinda.
It's not just on you guys. Not anymore. It's making sure nothing gets close, and if anybody's watching us to see what they're doing, make sure it's not hostile. There are different departments here, different reasons for doing what we do. I'm just keeper of information.
I
Anything
don't
that
even know
we
what it is you're doing here.
keeping people safe, out of, I guess you called them the loops. Anybody who remembers gets an invite.
Long pause. Do you remember?
A little bit, not everything. So that's how I know when you told me I didn't die, that it was the truth. Because Persephone remembers, Emerin remembers, the Cromwell lady remembers. I just remember bits and pieces and blurry memories.
That's probably more than I've got, so. Good for you, I guess?
It's not great. It means I came close to it. And he stands up again, unshrimping, and once again his back cracks. Ow. Like audibly goes, ow.
Maybe you should stop doing that then.
I barely get the chance to relax. Let me have my shrimp.
No.
Oh, and this is coming from you. And
Yeah.
he grins at you. Why is it? It's not worse than yours, is it?
Yeah, it is. There's more back there for you to shrimp with.
And he laughs openly. This is a big old laugh. Well, you want to go get something to eat? Go talk to the others? What do you want to do? You, not me.
Don't know, Valkyr.
How about we go get something to drink? No alcohol, just juice or milk or something.
Sure.
And he offers out a hand to you as he starts to walk away.
Stares at it, unsure, but follows.
He still holds out his hand as if to say to take it. Do you take it?
I don't know, because she's still upset with him.
That's fair. As he will let it drop after a couple of seconds of resistance or hesitation. Just shrugging it. I kind of deserve that one. And tucks his hand into his pockets and starts to head off. And he's silent for a while. Seeming to wait for you to say anything as he doesn't know where to start. And it's visible in his anxious posture right now that he doesn't know how to start the conversation.
So, anything you want to tell me about?
I don't actually mind being afflicted. I think they call them tieflings. It's been different, but nice, actually.
Glad you're comfortable then?
I wouldn't call it comfortable. I just think I'm kind of getting used to it. And he gestures for you to head inside the open archway of this area. Like over here.
I can't see where you're bipping.
Beep beep.
Down. Okay.
Mhm. But yeah, it's I don't know what to start with. I feel kind of comfortable. I've been able to help people. I don't feel like I have to hide anymore. I don't feel like I have to be anxious.
Don't think that's really something people control, but okay.
And you see a couple of people like chatting at a bigger table, just with what seems like a pair of cards in their hands. And they seem to be waiting on other people, but they don't pay attention to you very easily.
Mhm.
Just well, when it comes to explanations, I'm not very good at those. It seems like a thing you've always been better at.
I mean, I guess?
And just kind of you. Is well, at least here you don't have to worry about having to explain anything. You can just do what you want. And he steps through and just heads over to one of the seemingly magical summoning trays almost. And just, is there anything you want to try? Anything you want to eat that you'd feel comfortable with?
I mean, you know what I prefer, I guess? I'm not feeling very picky right now.
How about we try something new?
Alright.
And he just starts typing a couple of things in. And Helia, you're noticing now that whenever he's excited to do something in this form that he has right now, the
Tail
tail is
wiggles?
what? Tail wiggles, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So the tail is wiggling. And after a couple of minutes, he inputs something else as if to increase the summoning value and says, it should be a few minutes. We can take a seat somewhere.
Sounds good. You'd probably know where to sit better than I would.
He just moves over to one of the areas next to the chandeliers, which seems to be giving off a sort of holographic glow. So he just takes a seat.
Are those little gold circles table chairs?
Yes.
Or. Okay.
And he just leans a little bit and just, so it's kind of weird, kind of not. It's all really kind of, I'm not one for magic, you know this. I'm very good at being fast and running away from things. So I don't know what they're doing. Persephone says even she doesn't understand it. And what she does understand, she still doesn't get it of how Emran's doing it.
Man's a wizard, literally, so.
I kind of think it's a sorcerer thing. I think he's more along the lines of a dad, who apparently is just straight up Merlin.
Yeah, that's what Lex says.
Well, he can't also be Merlin's son, so.
I think Lex is his grandson, but don't quote me on that.
That'd check out from how Emran was talking about having a brother. He doesn't seem like the type to have kids personally himself. And he kind of laughs, just insulting the man keeping the base running basically to his face.
Hmm.
So, how's it been on your end? I'm kind of curious. I can't. I should clarify. I only see what I see when I'm there, and I haven't been there for a little while now. I think the last thing I saw was something relating to Miss Barbie.
That was puffed at her cheek before you popped out at Lex's party, so
Yeah.
I don't know, it's been mostly quiet on our end.
All right, the blood moon that scared quite literally me into action and Persephone into being silent. Yeah.
I mean, between them and Barbie, nothing much has really happened.
Huh. So you guys just have it real unlucky.
I mean, we did fight something in Neverland just before we came here, but.
What was it?
think Kelpie, but made of evil slime.
It was gross. Well, it sounds like the thing that your friend fought on our behalf. He said it was sort of a prototype.
Yeah.
That's ominous, and I don't like that.
None of us like it. Sorry, I have to check my notes because I'm trying to see what happened between Barbie and now.
It's been a bit.
Yeah. Well, aside from Neverland, oh God, I did forget that happened during that time period. Eee. Well, this is gonna sound bad because I said nothing happened, but the academy was attacked.
He kind of clicks his tongue of like, yeah? Kind of click of the tongue.
Shrug followed by incoherent mumbling. I don't know. Things got out of order in my head.
I know how that messes you up, so just say what you remember.
There was some guy and a Hydra attacking something at the top of the Academy Tower. Sue said something about it being called a time dial, but we might have information that counteracts that. I'm not entirely sure what was going on there, but we did prevent the guy who attacked us from being assassinated, and that was weird, but maybe for the better?
Why would the guy who was attacking you need to be protected?
Because
That
the
seems a little.
people who were, who sent him to the academy wanted him dead? I don't know.
That sounds a little counterproductive.
I mean, only if you don't want a guy who can maybe identify you in the hands of people you're working against.
I guess, but that still sounds a little counterproductive.
We prevented his
And
assassination. I don't know what else to tell you. Nobody has really filled me in on him much.
yeah, I can check in on that if you want.
You don't have to. I want to believe that the others will tell me things.
Well, and he kind of looks around for a moment. Do you trust him?
Shrugs. More than I
That's not
used to?
strength. That's not confidence-inducing, and he nudges you slightly.
Don't nudge me like that.
Don't nudge you like what? Like this? And does it again.
Leans over, just hand on the side of his face. Push.
Oh no, whatever shall I do? Dramatically falls out of seat.
Oh, we were also invited to go on the Polar Express, I think 1 or 2 Christmases ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just from the ground.
He can stay down there. Be dramatic. There.
But after a few moments of both of you joking around and catching up and making sure Valkyr, what he doesn't know gets filled in, and what he knows about you guys also gets told. And he doesn't seem to know much more than what he's admitted to already knowing, which is a relief, especially if he was already, working with the White Queen, and apparently that the White Queen was against somebody else. And in front of you, there is a plate full of salmon and rice, specifically brown sugar salmon and brown rice, brown fried rice. Hi, welcome to I Have to Do Research for Orlane, and it's stuck in my fucking head.
That man truly does curse us with tasty food.
Yeah. And Valkyr kind of scrambles to his seat and picks up one of the forks that was summoned with it and just munch, crunch. He probably forgot to eat today just as bad as you did.
They're dumb, Your Honor.
They complement each other. They remind each other when to be a person again. But he does swallow harshly as he remembers something. Alright. Did you want to talk to the nobles, or you just want to spend a day with me?
I mean, I don't have any strong feelings either way, Valkyr. I think it's easy for him to tell she's not exactly at ease here.
Do you want to go sightseeing? Maybe that'll help.
Sightseeing?
Mm-hmm. There's more places to explore here than just this top floor. Or I guess second to top floor.
I see.
There's even a workshop for you if you need it. And he kind of smirks, knowing that'll catch your attention.
I've got a pretty decent one set up on the ship, but thanks.
Aw, you don't even want to check out anything they've got? That's not the Helia I know. And grins even more.
Care him so much. It's complicated, Valkyr.
Yeah, I get it. I do, more than you think. Let's just enjoy dinner and go walk around. Maybe I can show you a couple of the places that I escaped to. In case you ever need me.
Yeah, sure.
And he does eat in silence, and his tail's doing the happy wiggles that you notice more and more as when he's actually enjoying something and he doesn't want to show it. Is there any place that you would want to go? I know we said we agreed upon something, but I think it would be forced if I tried to put Helia in front of a noble.
Well,
Right
she's
now, at least.
moping right now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She is moping because she's, still upset and hurt. But she trusts Valkyr on taking her places.
Right. I think without proper ways of having conversation, I think he does take you out towards the city that is in a lower layer. And he does introduce you to some people, but ultimately lets you take your own pace. Shows you to a bookstore, shows you to a magic store. Both of you really don't care for the magic store, but it'll help in your studies of artificing. And he knows that's what you enjoy the most. And there are some books that you notice you don't have on the ship. and there are some that you have 3, 4 copies of. And then there's the bookstore. Primarily fiction and romance, which you cringe at a little bit. But it's almost home feeling. Like this place is not lived in because all the things here, but because of the people who put those things here.
Hmm.
I do think you spend most of your day here traveling around with Valkyr, who is excited to play tour guide and not informant, and use his information for better purposes than just spying on people, including you.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good portion to, at the very least, call the point of your point in the session here. And I can bring you into a one-on-one to figure out how we'll introduce you to the noble.
All right.
Yep. Tsubasa,
Yep.
what are you doing as everybody has wandered off and you had the awkward moment of, oh,
It's just,
I should not be here.
Oh no, they're arguing. Let's just go this way. He wanders off on his own, just figuring he might as well explore the base, get to know it a little bit better. Ah.
There's indistinct chatter from all places. It seems that this place is far more lived in than perhaps you had given it credit for. Yes, they're not all out in the streets or in the stables or even in the areas where they eat and settle down and go to sleep, but they're all scattered about. And they seem to acknowledge you as you pass by a couple of people on the streets as they're starting to realize, oh, good, we don't have to worry about interrupting something. We can walk our daily routes. They acknowledge you, but they don't heed you, if that makes sense. Kind of like walking past people on a busy street.
Yeah. I genuinely don't know where to go with Tsubasa.
If you want to go downstairs to any locations, you can just head to one of the staircases.
But what if he went upstairs?
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah, no, he wanders aimlessly for a while before he finds his way to the stairs. Which...
Mm-hmm. You'd have to go around.
Go around where?
Over here.
Okay. That's where I was planning to go. But yeah, he does eventually find his way to the stairs, and it's the same thing that Aster knows before with the brighter sunlight and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He gets curious enough to go up.
You're met with rushing winds. It's almost jarring until you realize that you're not on like a closed-in arboretum. You're out in the elements on top of a mountain.
Oh.
It is a beautiful view from where you can see so far, outstretching for miles and miles and even across ocean. It seems idyllic.
It's really nice out here.
I'm currently setting something up.
Okay. I hate that that was picked up on your mic.
Yeah, hi, welcome to hell.
Anyways.
Kind of humid, but wonderful places.
You should have control over your token.
I do indeed.
You don't see very many people up here. Straight ahead of you, there is an odd, like, completely monochrome, like, glaring across the scenery, monochrome person. It almost looks like a statue if it wasn't for the fact that you actively see this person in loose fitted clothes that are rustling with the high winds and just kind of seemingly tending to some outside garden area.
He starts wandering around the garden, just getting better look at it, at the scenery. Man, I feel awkward being the only one who didn't have a plan.
You do get a look from the person that looks monochrome grays and blacks and occasional silvers and whites. And just, can I help you?
I'm mostly just looking around. Me and my friends just got here.
Friends of Imran?
More like friends of Persephone and Valkyr.
Same difference at this point. And just sets down the watering can, dusts off his hands, and kind of half-heartedly approaches you with a hand in his pockets. And extends his free hand. Name's Eisen. You can call me I.
Uh, my name's Tsubasa, and he does take the hand. Don't really have much of a nickname outside of what my friends call me.
Well, you're free to wander around and just, if you get a little bit of hunger, just let me know what you pick off the trees. They might be not pleasant if ate raw. And he kind of chuckles.
Can you point out anything that would be?
He thinks about it. The one's on the left-hand side and points across from you, over here.
Okay.
Probably should wait a couple more days before you try to bite into them, otherwise you might break your teeth.
Tsubasa just instinctually covers his mouth with his hand, just like, oh no.
But the ones on the right behind me, and points over here, they're as good as they're gonna get. Feel free. What's mine is yours.
Thank you.
There's also some berry bushes up on the platform, and points behind him. If you don't mind about getting your shoes a little wet, because it's built into the platform.
I mean, I've got nothing against it. What's the worst that can happen?
It's just water. He
Exactly.
seems a little confused.
That's what I meant. It's just water.
Ah, we have a few paranoid sorts, so I have to keep reminding them that it's okay here.
It really is pretty out here.
Yeah. Don't know where we are, but apparently we're close enough to the sea to feel it. Means the storms are always going to be intense up here, though.
Oh boy.
He pats you on the shoulder and goes back to what he was doing and starts to water again.
Yeah. Tsubasa does wander around the garden a little bit more.
You do see a blue-haired, like almost monochromatic blue, and it's kind of funny. The only thing that's off is that her skin is very pale, and her eyes are a very frosty pale blue. As she looks up from what she's knelt down examining, she's in front of some bushes that you were warned about, but she's beneath them, so she's staring up, and she's taking notes on something. But she stops and smiles. Oh, hi! You look new.
Yeah, just got here actually.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm one of the botanists for the area, so I'm making sure everything's up to date.
Why are you crouched down here though, and not up there?
And she points beneath the platform where all of the excess bad, like almost like the bugs and stuff, are draining to. I'm making sure that if they have to be, removed or filtered or just put back into the system, I can separate them.
Huh.
It's a very intuitive system up here. I'm kind of envious we didn't think of it back home.
It's actually, it really is interesting. Maybe you'd be able to bring it back home at some point?
Oh, no, I don't ever want to go back there. They don't treat us very kindly.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I'm a vampire. And she smiles at you with suddenly sharp canines.
Oh.
There's a lot of misconceptions about us being able to stand in sunshine, too. But I don't normally mention it. Too many questions.
Yeah. No, at that point, Tsubasa does glance up at the sky. It's just like, it is bright and sunny out. And he's talking to a vampire.
I bet you have a couple of questions.
The sun really doesn't bother you?
Not when you're old enough, no. The younger you are, the more susceptible you are to the ultraviolet rays, as you technically stop existing. And ultraviolet rays and silver and reflective surfaces are your bane of your existence.
So, wait,
God forbid you're near a bunch of mirrors.
so hold on. How old does that make you? Wait, no, that's rude.
No, it's not the first time. I have a bunch of kids around here who ask the same question all the time and get it wrong every time. And she holds out a hand. I'm Savannah. I am a little over 450 years old.
The mild gawking of, whoa! Uh, my name's Tsubasa. He does say after a moment, taking her hands, just like, it's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Uh, Japanese origin, right?
Yeah, I'm actually half Japanese, half French.
You must be mocked quite a bit. That's an odd combination.
You get used to it after a while.
You shouldn't. I'm technically, to put it to you simply, I'm in the same boat.
You are?
Half Japanese, half Russian.
Huh.
And considering the backlash of the Cold War, that's not exactly very good.
Would Tsubasa even know about the Cold War?
No, that's like a completely foreign subject to Tsubasa because he wasn't from that world.
Yeah, no, just the confused noise of the. What do you mean the Cold War?
Don't worry about it. It's nothing to be concerned about. Do you want to help me out with something?
Sure.
She points to the berries on top. Can you sort those by ripeness and color? And she hands you a different journal, a smaller journal with a quill versus a proper pen. It seems to never run out of ink, though, as there is no inkwell nearby.
I mean, I can try.
It shouldn't be too hard, it's just color and ripeness. You'd be able to tell their ripeness by just looking at them.
Would Tsubasa be able to tell from where he's standing, or does he need to go up there?
You would have to go up there.
Yeah, so he does take the journal and the quill, and it's just like, all right, I'll take care of it then.
Mm-hmm. Thank you!
You're welcome. And he sloshes through the water.
Is there anything specific you'd like to see or do while you are doing that? 'Cause this will take a while.
Ah, shit. I'm trying to think of something, and I'm coming up with nothing.
That might just mean Tsubasa's content with being a person for once instead of a fighter.
That is true. It's just vibing as he sorts through the berries.
I found my berries! Oh!
Oh, my berries!
But if that's all that you want to do, or rather that all you can think of, we can move over to Arthur, which would be our lore of the session.
Yep. Alright, I've got nothing wrong against that. Though Arthur does seem to have disappeared.
For a little while, yeah. So we can pause for a bit. Pause the session. Are we all good?
I've got it going.
Yeah.
So, Arthur.
Yeah.
You started to talk and walk with Emerin. He was silent for a bit, insisting that they get away from prying eyes and ears, even though he insisted that this place was safe. Is there anything you ask him as he is walking and being silent?
No, I think he'll wait till that's destination.
So he leads you outside, out of the main, what you figure out is a mountain, across treetops and through walkways that have been set up. It is a true and well, almost kingdom. And it's almost a little laughable at that, because you don't know how long this has been around. And he stops as he reaches the center point of an interconnected series of pathways. And he looks at you as you kind of look over everything. The trees rustling, the forest below chittering and chirping. And just goes, well, where do you want me to start? And be clear this time. There are 2 beginnings and 2 endings.
Start from when your doppelganger showed up.
Oh, that one. So, that was around the time that the loops started. And I do recognize them as time loops and not time disconnects or anything like that. They are starting from a specific point. And he kind of grimaces. They are starting from the point of you and Lex meeting. And I was there at that time. They seem to be trying to break something. And it starts with the 2 of you. But they can never seem to do it. Something about you two is unbreakable. And I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know. Whether it's romantic or just fateful. I don't know what it is, and I don't care. But they put me in a position I could not refuse. And I know that sounds rather awful. As he kind of leans on the banister of this centerpiece and looks outward. They told me that if I wanted to ever save anyone again, I would first have to save myself. And I didn't know what they meant by that, so I went back to the one place I could study, the tower. After all, they could not take a home from me of which was never mine to begin with. But they took that as well, as I found they had placed a clone, a doppelganger of me, in that location. Had surface level memories of me, of my family, remembered my twin, remembered his wife, remembered her son. And they also remembered what I did to get them out, away, safe. And he rubs the back of his neck in an awkward manner he has not shown yet. I kind of banished them to Quadratum. And I think that was the bad call. Because I can feel him trying to claw his way past the gates. And, if he comes back improperly, he will die. And then Lex truly will not have a biological father and mother. Which I don't think he quite understands.
Great.
But it was an improper banishment, I understand, but it was for their own safety. It's complicated. It's not as clear cut as I shouldn't have or I should have done it. Everything seems to be that way lately. And he shakes his head. If it was so clear, I wouldn't have done all this. Would have just gone back home. Would have saved the day, rendered this null and void. But no, I have to get my fucking staff taken from me. By the by, those doppelgangers, if you ever run into one, even with the little knowledge they will have, they will be able to wield your weapons with the same amount of force and willpower that you do. So be careful. And Arthur, you recall this vaguely from a different standpoint from the prototype Guardian, as that was technically a failed clone of Lex, and was able to wield his power succinctly, if only temporarily. Do you mention this at all?
Yes.
How do you mention it to him?
I encountered something like a doppelganger not too long ago.
Oh, you got out of it alive, so I assume the other side didn't meet a quite so nice fate.
Yeah, but it was out of outside intervention.
Hmm. Does it have anything to do with the two high winds in the basement?
Yeah.
Huh. Yes, those two are very scary. The bodyguard is not much help for more help on that matter. Or is he just a friend? I don't know. The excess of interventional knowledge that I have insists that he's something more to each of them. I just don't know which one.
Person to ask.
I suppose not. But, as for the doppelganger nonsense, I've realized that I can't do that alone. Much as I want to, I can't. If I do, everything falls apart. And the one time I did try to intervene on a heavy-handed scale, and he looks awkwardly nervous again, kind of looking away from you. I kind of broke the loop in a bad way.
What?
Everyone went a little batty, including the people who weren't supposed to know, suddenly knew. I spent too much mana in one place, a nexus point, one where they were experimenting. And all they did was laugh as everything fell apart. I don't think they care much on what happens next. They just want it to continue. Even I'm not that stubborn, at least I acknowledge my defeats. But they didn't lose, did they? Because it went back to that date and time and I was exiled from the loops entirely. With my doppelganger as the one who was taking care of Lex. So they won. They got what they wanted.
But it doesn't seem like they got their ultimate goal, though.
No, they did not. I don't even know what that is. I just know that they want it to continue. And it could be anything.
Well, whatever it is, it'll probably be just an obstacle to me. They're
Oh,
not really my main goal. They're
what
just
is your
getting in
main
my
goal?
way.
Sounds kind of ominous. I didn't take you for a ruthless sort.
I'm not.
And what is it, Your Highness? What are you seeking?
Put someone back together.
He looks confused. You mentioned this earlier. Is there something wrong?
Lex. He's not whole.
Yes. You'll have to clarify for me. Did a doppelganger get to him?
He is split up into 3. Nobody. Soul. Heartless.
That's not possible. Not even an Ambrosia can do that. That requires a level of strength.
You can
That
deny it all
not-
you want. That's what happened.
You see a look of vague irritation settle onto his features. Not towards you, but it is irritant. So you're telling me that someone actively sought out the death of a child? Yes?
Yes.
Much less that than my family.
Mm.
He closes his eyes for a moment, and you hear like the almost anime click of his jaw. He's definitely not getting any happier. This is not what I intended. It's not even close.
But it's what happened. and you gotta accept it.
I know. Trust me, I'm well aware. But if I could just get my staff back, maybe I could fix it. Or at least go back to when it happened.
Don't think that'll be that simple. That'll probably just make another problem to fix.
You see him just kind of rub at his face, like, why is it so complicated to just do a simple task?
How do you think Arthur feels? It's his whole life.
Arthur's going through it constantly, bro. It's not even my fault! But he does, like, stand up a little straighter, rub at his temple, and just, alright. So, what do you know of this so far? What happened? Because I genuinely don't know.
At some point in the past, don't remember exactly, when we were young, he had gone to the Dark Realm and came back different. That's as much as information I have about that, other than the locations of these parts of him. Obviously, one being here, one in the Dark Realm, and one in Quadratum.
Again, you're saying things that don't make sense. Because if one part of him is in Quadratum... Shit! He just realizes what you just said, and just reaches out and doesn't hit you, but hits the side of, the, like, kind of the tree trunk that he's standing right next to. And it, like, splinters and shatters and cracks down the side. Like, here realizing that the Ambrosi family is generally all that powerful. And they restrain themselves a lot. Alright, good. Have it under control. Good. Breathe. Emerald. So, when it comes to Quadratum and going there and coming back, there is a rule. You cannot go in there without losing something, and you cannot come back without losing what you gained. And that is the reason why I sent them there in the first place. They lost what they cared about most. Yes, I understand it was a bad call, but if that part of Lex is there, you're not going to be seeing him when you go to him.
Okay.
You're going to be seeing him at his core. The worst and the best of him. And this does not deter you, does it?
No. Like I just said, the other guys are just obstacles.
You're a braver or more stupid man than I give you credit for.
Well, the last guy said I was probably the dumbest version of myself.
And that means they underestimate you. Rather to be dumb and or stupid than brave. Because bravery, that's what you get. That's how you get killed. I would know. I was raised alongside the bravest man I know. And he currently wants me dead.
Mm.
What other questions do you have, Your Highness?
An unrelated topic. On assuming your title was, technically still is, Lord Magistrate,
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about balance?
Do I know anything about what?
Balance?
The affinity?
Yeah.
Yes. What about it?
Just wondering on its possible uses.
Oh, plenty of uses. It's... How do I say this? It is the core functionality of the universe. It can be used to do anything, be anyone, be anywhere. If you know how to use it, you can do anything. To heal permanently, or to erase permanently. It is what my staff is built off of. And he kind of taps his eye patch as if to imply something.
I think that the the note about the Keyblade notably piques his interest.
You said it piques his interest about the Keyblade?
Yeah, like he reacted to the fact that he said that.
That's... I don't know if you'd be able to get a hold of it, or hold it for very long. It is a gift from my father. It is supposed to only be passed down to his chosen heirs, and he never really got to choose one before he disappeared. So I just picked it up and started wielding it like a freaking staff. It does have its own use, but I don't know what it is. I just know it's built off of what you call balance.
Well, it seems like the one who currently has him, it doesn't really belong to him either.
I suppose not. But I don't know who it belongs to. After all, it was Merlin the Great's. There's no one who really matches that. And he sighs as he realizes something. And just head in hands.
Why the reaction?
I was going to say that there's no one who really matches him in the same amount of prowess. That is incorrect. I took one look at my brother's son, my nephew, and I had to wince at the amount of sheer power coming off of him. And that was just his nobody, correct?
Yeah.
I cannot fathom the amount of strength he will have when he is complete. So it might belong to him.
You know, out of this short conversation, I've noticed that you should really expand your mind to how many possibilities there are.
He looks confused and a little, baffled by your commentary. It's not that I...
Yeah?
It's not that I do not see the potential and the possibilities. It's that I've seen too many of them, and I don't want to see them anymore. It's not a great thing to see.
Pussy. Anyway.
I feel like that does genuinely catch him off guard. And he's like, Your Highness, that is not becoming of a royal candidate.
I mean, who's gonna tell? Are you?
He, opens his mouth to say something, and then, realizes he's kind of he can't What is he supposed to say here? Like that kind of, you've caught him, and he doesn't like it? Because everybody thinks he's an asshole right now because of the doppelganger, and now you're just like, what, are you gonna say something? He does sigh, though. I see your point. Much as I do not want to, I do. I just don't know where to start.
Mm.
Do you have an idea, Your Highness?
Me? I'm a young adult. I'm just starting out life. How would I know the answer to your question?
Just the decidedly disgruntled noise of how dare you. You're basically sassing your mentor, and you know this.
Well, when he grows a pair and decides to do something, then you can say stuff.
He does, like, stand up at his full height, no longer slouching or leaning over. Well, unless you have any other questions or ways to insult me, I've really got to get going.
We have a serious answer to your question.
Yes?
Probably reevaluate your relationship with your family.
In what manner?
What do you think? How about we go back and review what you said? You sent...
Everything I've done has been to protect them.
Right. Did you give them a choice on that matter?
I gave my brother that choice, and he decided to do what he did.
What about... That's his mom.
He's the one. She was the one who was fighting the most on the matter. Said that she'd rather actually die than leave. And I got her to understand that it's an easier time to understand that not every death is permanent. That sometimes it's best to die for a little while and come back when you're needed. Which wasn't the right thing, I think, to say in that endeavor, because that's where I got the scar, and points to his jawline.
Hmm.
So I kind of understand, but I don't. I've never been good with people, much less my own family. Where do I... He looks genuinely distressed, not understanding what you're getting at. I don't know what I did. I was just trying to help.
Sometimes the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
I suppose so. And he just kind of stares out now. Is there anything you say to get his attention, or do you just walk away? I think you head back the way you came. And you do hear laughter from the beach. Do you head there, or do you just leave it be?
Sure. First, he's got nowhere else to go. Be.
Hey, Aster.
Yes.
How do you think is the reaction to hearing a bunch of really dumb stories about Lex and his youth?
One more time?
How does Aster react to all the dumb stories of Lex and his youth?
Mainly just. And you're positive you were not replaced by a pod person. 100%.
I think so, yeah.
Dude, I was literally 2 people at once. That's my excuse. What the fuck?
You're gonna look at him and you're gonna tell him he's wrong?
It's fully that conversation happening right now. They're just sitting there. Poor Vincent's probably in the background just like, they're so worse. Why are they still doing this? It can't get any worse than that. Legs don't bend that way! What the fuck is happening?
So, you would be approaching from the top, Arthur.
Yeah.
And you, like, kind of see in the distance Lex and Aster just sitting on top of an outcropping, laughing and carrying on. Then you see Vince, who is looking horrified by whatever they're talking about.
With an emotional support itty.
What was that, Arthur?
You just said hey to Vince.
Hey, come to pick them up?
Yes, what's been happening?
They're talking about being pod people?
What does that mean?
After, I don't know, Lex was talking about trying to do something really dumb in his youth. Apparently when he was very, very young around you. And just, he kept laughing more than he was talking, but...
Huh. Alright. 52 dumbass.
Without looking behind him, Aster just goes, uh-oh, he's here.
Who?
Arthur.
Shit! Just the fucking scramble.
Instant, like, he preemptively grabbed him by the scruff. No, 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 no. Herald strength. No, 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 no.
Don't leave me with him.
No.
My dog is right back there, dude. He saw you. He snitched.
Let me go! Let me go! Let me go!
Have you guys
I
been
need to
having
leave.
fun?
A lot of fun. We've been going stories for stories. Apparently, oh god, I almost said something horrible. We're not gonna make that canon. No, that'd be too. That'd be no.
Yeah?
I almost made. There I am. Barbecue sauce on my titties. Meme canon between one of the two. It's only cowardice because you don't know who it's from. And that is between me and God. And God's currently dying in the corner. See?
I think it's Lex dying a little bit. fucking tears, dog.
Let Ren recover first.
No, continue. I'll die, it's
As
okay.
just gonna look at Arthur. Yeah, we've just been here talking. He cried.
No, hey, you don't snitch on me. What the hell's wrong with you?
I physically have to. You were crying. I've never seen you cry. Fuck off. We care.
Did the Widow Knight cry?
Oh, shut up.
We are Arthur Pendraco. We are far too close to water for you to be making jokes like that.
He gets
Close to when
closer
you
on
said-
purpose.
Yeah, he's like, we're far too close. Gets closer.
Alright, Aster, Dark Dodge is at least a little bit away. I am now not at fault.
There's like laughter happening from Lex right now.
I'm standing over here. I don't trust you not to push my ass in.
Oh, he will.
I know. If he tries, I'm gonna push him in.
Mutually assured destruction.
You know what he's gonna
Instantly
do?
in that, like,
He's gonna
what's that
light
about?
dash off, trying to grab him.
Aster's going to accept this grab, and then counter Dark Dodge deeper into the fucking ocean with Arthur.
Oh, Lexa just has the expression of what's happening? Am I having a stroke?
Hey, what's with the light beams? Where did you guys just... All of a sudden, Lex's back is wet.
Yeah.
Fuck! Hey, I get to roll twice today for doing dashes.
And Lex just kind of laughs. Just, you guys are being ridiculous. Come on.
Aster looks at Arthur. Ridiculous, he says.
I don't get that. I'm certain that's a reference. I didn't get the reference.
Not a reference.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Well, maybe he should see things from our point of view. Evil fucking smile.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. I would sink like a rock.
Because he's built like one.
Damn.
I take that as a compliment.
Oh, I was thinking more of like a skipping stone than like a thick rock.
Just because you're stronger than me doesn't mean anything. Not everybody's you, home slice.
Vince, I will pay your therapy bills if you push him in.
I don't go to therapy.
Whoa, you should. Oh, you absolutely should. A lot of us should go to therapy. And then just quickly grabs Arthur, pushes him into the water, and starts swimming away. Back to
Freeze
shore,
that
quickly!
No, he's gonna freeze that motherfucker.
Ah! Bitch. How dare you!
There's cackling from above now.
Freeze! Right as you're about to get on the fucking rock. Fuck you! Just, I imagine Aster is like, at this point, it's just like, it's when you're at that deep of into the water where it's just your chin and like your head tilted up, coming up. Like that kind of, he's that deep in the water and then it just, his finger comes out, freeze!
Guys, I think you're killing Ren.
Yo, suck it, bitch!
I think he does. Anyway,
Damn!
alright.
If that
Are
was from
you?
Lex, that's
Are you
completely...
really?
Version of Lex, I don't know what it was.
That's Eos. We all know that's Eos.
Fine. I'm good. I'm an adult.
Are we? I have neighbors, and they just heard me probably yell, Levio, suck it!
What's worse is that I only heard the second part.
Oh, no, I did the full, like, the Leviosa voice with, Levio, suck it!
No wonder Ayla's responded. Ugh. I think with both of you crawling out in various states of frozen and not frozen, Lex is on his back, like, laughing himself to tears.
Just, eventually Aster and Arthur are just on the stone. Fucking posed up. Full gremlin style. My fucking socks are wet. We did not think that through. We were fully dressed. And I don't have prestidigitation on me. Fuck!
Arrow.
Oh, that's smart.
You just blast air, you air blast him like a vase.
Wait, against me?
Like if it was like a very strong hand dryer, just like.
Aster's black. He's going full fro then. It's full frizz.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Suffer? You got into the water in the first place. You get to die.
Aster just looks astronomically different now. Four hours this morning styling my hair.
And you got in the water, like says.
Push Lex in the water.
You use Harold's strength because he does have the gravity thing on right now.
Absolutely. I'll take that point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Just the fucking... And then just from the water, just fucking you bitch. Like, sore loser.
Aster absolutely having a coughing fit from this sudden exhaustion, like, fucking worth it!
Are these three?
Oh.
Just easily climbs out of the water, and he is soaked. It is literally just a wet dog kind of situation.
Oh no!
He has long hair, remember?
Yeah! Wow. That kind of sucks, bud. Era.
You go ahead. Just giving you the look of, yeah, do that. You want to try?
Yeah, he cast it.
If he had wild curls before, it did not get better, and in fact got worse.
Fuck! So I get fro and he gets hotter? This is bullshit.
And he grins.
Bullshit. I'm hungry. Y'all want something to eat?
Yeah, we should probably get back.
Me and Vince will head back first, and he just hand on Arthur. Look. I think you guys got some stuff to talk about.
Talk about what?
Oh, the fact that Arthur blushed because you did something hot, and then he just walks off, leaving that absolutely there. Yep, just walks off. Throws him under the bus. Nope, context. Just throws him under the bus, goes grab Vince. Come on, let's go.
What? It looks like he was dozing off.
Do I need to carry you?
No. And walks off ahead of you.
The Jason Momoa meme.
No, don't do that to him.
Back here.
What is it with this fucking four? It's this four specifically.
Absolute chaos.
Just as Arthur and Lex watch Aster and Vince leave a distant from Vince. Because he absolutely got picked up.
Yeah. It was the fuck you, dude. I said no.
This isn't even Herald strength. You're just that light. Eat more food.
I'm dead. And that's what you hear as the last thing. And Lex just kind of chuckles and goes, you don't have to explain to me if you don't got to.
I think Arthur didn't clock that he did. He's like, what?
Oh, he said that you blushed when something about the video?
Oh, did I? If I did, I did. Huh.
You did not. Aster's making shit up just to be an instigator.
Yeah, and Arthur's second guessing himself, so, you know. I mean, what are the chances do you think he's lying?
Very high, honestly.
Mm.
He would make something up specifically to get us to have a moment, and he does air quotes.
Hmm.
He's an instigator. That's what he does best.
He tries his best.
There's another, like, snort laugh. You seem upset, though.
Eh,
You don't gotta tell me. You can wait until tomorrow.
I'm certain you also have something you need to talk about.
If it's
Yeah.
about the same person, probably can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come on. And just kind of walks beside you. And I think that's a great place to call it.
Time to stop.
Yeah.
Yep.